Okay, this is a video of the syllabus. I finally got things working on my iPad. So this is for both Biology 100 Section 3 and Section 5, 17161 and 17162. It's identical. Online asynchronous learning, that means that there's no standard time. And mainly what I'll be doing is just posting the videos of previous lectures and things like that. I'm Maury Beck. You can reach me at mbeck at csun.edu. The Canvas page for 161 is this right here, and then it's different for 162. And then we'll get to the rest of the stuff. Okay, so this is for no credit for our biology major. May not be taken for credit by students who have completed 101, 102, 106, 107. Okay. You can read this yourself. You can read this yourself. Okay, course materials. Everything that you're going to need basically is going to be on Canvas except for one thing. So we'll get to that. And the one thing that's not, you have to buy a program for $6 to do this assignment. Okay. So it turns out that for this class, we're using a text called Biology Now. It's the 3rd edition. It turns out that with something called My CSUN Digital Access, you are automatically signed up for that. That means you opted in, and the cost will be $59. That means all enrolled students will have access to the materials through Canvas by the first day of class, or more likely earlier. Okay. Now, you could obtain these materials elsewhere. This is the ebook and a bunch of assignments called Inquisitive. But to do that, you have to opt out, so you can read that yourself. The best thing to do is to stay enrolled. You'll be charged $59 on your account, and you'll have access to it right away. Most of you probably already started. Okay. So, again, you should read how to access Inquisitive, and this is Biology Now textbook. And then this is kind of the beginning of everything, so we're going to go through it. See from, this is like the opening, the top of Canvas right here. Okay, so as I mentioned, it's Canvas asynchronous learning. We're on Canvas. Everything you need is going to be on Canvas, as you can. Okay, so lectures, come prepared to lecture. Read the assigned textbook chapters before you actually look at the lecture. You can download the lecture slides. I'll show you where that is, which will provide lecture slides so that you can take notes. There'll be basically 3 slides per page. Right, only, okay, you can go on with that because we're going to be, you can watch the videos of the lectures at your leisure, okay, and then you can take notes because there's a notes page that you will print out. Okay. Oh yeah, you can use the lectures then of course for before the exam to review things. Okay, so for example, Okay. For example, let's see. Here, right here, this is cellular handouts, okay? And those are the handouts for chapter 4. And there's 3 slides per page. And for however many slides are in the actual lecture, okay? And then in the handouts per se, it usually shows up like this, 1, 2, 3, and then off to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can take notes, okay? And then to watch the lecture, it'll be like, let's say for chapter 4, life is cellular, right? So, life is cellular 1, and then life is cellular 2, and then the beginnings of chapter 5. So you click on that, and that'll take you to a video on lecture capture that I recorded from another semester. Okay. And then there's also, for each lecture, there's usually going to be a 1-question quiz, but it's actually 2 parts, so that if you answer it, you get half a point, and if you answer it correctly, you get another half a point. And so the first question will be, are you taking this quiz? You'll say true, obviously. You'll get half a point, and then you have to answer it correctly. Okay, and you'll see that on your Canvas when you see what stuff is due. Okay. So let's see. Registration for Canvas for the inquisitive assignments. You should be already all set up with that. If you're not, then watch how to access inquisitive. And it'll tell you how to do it, but I think you're automatically set up with my CSUN, where you get charged for that. Because inquisitive is actually part of ebook. And then there's also, in addition to inquisitive assignment for each chapter, chapters 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, etc. There's also going to be a reading quiz for each of those chapters and an infographics quiz. So that's going to be for every single chapter that we do. And you'll see when they're due. For example, here is the inquisitive. And it shows that it's due February 14th. It's worth 10 points. You'll click on it, and there'll be a video for you to watch to see how to actually do it. And it's a kind of a thing where you can do it over and over and over as many times as you want, and you basically get points up to a certain point, and you'll get 10 points total. So no matter what, as long as you spend enough time and answer it correctly, you'll get all 10 points no matter what. Make sure, though, you read the book before you do it, or it's going to take you a long time because you keep making mistakes. And then there's also the infographics quiz and the reading quiz that also has to be done. Okay? And those are all you can do as many times as you want to get as many points as you want, full points. Okay. And let's see, there's also other things like animations that you'll probably be called on to watch and things like that. Okay. Exams. There's going to be 3 midterm exams each and a final exam. The midterms are worth 45 points for a total of 135 points, and the final exam is worth 65 points. The midterms are 50 multiple choice questions, and they'll cover, like for the first exam, it'll be chapters 1, 2, 4, and 5. And then the second exam is going to be chapters 6, 7, 9, and 10. Each midterm exam will only cover the chapters that were assigned since the previous exam. So the first exam, there was no previous exam, so at the beginning of the class. And the material will cover what's gone on in lecture in terms of the lecture video, the chapter homeworks, and the SYMBIO assignments. Final exam, the same sort of thing, but there will be 75 total points. 50 will cover the last chapters of the class, and then there will be 25 points, and that will be cumulative for the whole semester. Okay, and and there's probably going to be some extra credit for the final exam. I will provide a study guide for each exam with the slide handouts and all that. So each exam on Canvas, you'll have 90 minutes to complete it. If you need extra time, like for a disabilities resource, or you just want extra time, let me know and I'll give you extra time. All the exams will be done on Canvas, on your computer. If you miss an exam, please let me know beforehand you're going to miss it, or if it's an emergency, let me know as soon as possible so that I can reschedule it for you. Okay. So, for example, midterm 1. It's going to cover chapters 1, 2, 4, and 5. It's going to be, oh, that's not right. God damn it. It's going to be, I think, February, you'll see, 18th or something like that. Okay. And then it says, so these are different slides and media that we use, that I used in the lecture that you can go over. And then, of course, the slide handouts where you took notes for both, let's say, chapters 4 and 5, and 1 and 2 somewhere. Oh, here we go. Okay, and then the various lectures that were recorded. Okay, so the main thing is the study guide. Everything that's on the study guide is fair game for what's on the first exam, for example. Okay, now there's also one thing that you'll sign up for it on Canvas, but it's a separate program. You're gonna have to pay for it separately, and it's gonna involve downloading a program onto your computer. It has to be on a computer, either a Mac or a PC. It can't be on, let's say, a tablet or anything like that. You will do one simulation exercise, and then an extra credit one that will be, let's say, 20% extra credit. So the first one is going to be called, it's a simulation exercise. You have to go through the whole thing, answer all the questions, and we'll go through that exactly. And the first one is called How Diseases Spread, Epidemiology Explored. Obviously, not obviously, but I'm including it because, of course, we're going through a pandemic right now. And so this is a simulation exercise in terms of how diseases are transmitted and such, different kinds of transmission routes, things like that, including airborne transmission like with COVID. It turns out it's a beta version. They're kind of getting it up to speed, so it's going to be free, but you still have to sign up for it, register for it. And then at the end of the semester, there's another one that you pay $6 for called Darwinian Snails. It has to do with evolution. And that'll give you 20 points of extra credit or 5% to your grade. To run this program, you will need a Mac or a Windows computer. You cannot load it onto a tablet. If you do not have a computer, believe you can get a laptop through the bookstore. SymBio registration. Here we go. Okay, SymBio registration. To register for SymBio, all you do is to register, it says click on the link for SymBio down here. Click on that. It will take you to the SymBio website. You will sign up. You will pay either, you won't pay anything just for the free one, the one we're doing during class. But if you want to get the other one for the extra credit, then it'll cost you $6. I would suggest you do that. That way it'll help you out. And then we can see when, let's say, March 21st is when it's actually due. The first one, how disease is spread, and the extra credit is due at the end of the semester. You can also read those. Okay, now I teach 2 classes of Bio 100. You're either in Bio, let's see, either Bio 100 161 or Bio 100 Section 5 162. Make sure, this is after you actually download the program onto your computer, make sure you sign up for the correct section. So, for example, if you're in section 161 on SymBio, on Simutext on the program, it'll let you sign in to, it'll let you register or mark you're on that section versus the other section. Now, SymBio instructions, let's see here. Basically, these are assignments that are done on a program called Simutext that you purchased and downloaded. It is not done on Canvas. The assignments are due on the dates you see below the registration link. The assignments are due on the dates. Remember, do not wait until the last moment to sign up and begin the assignment. The assignments are divided into sections, usually 4 or 5 or 6 sections. I think it's 4 sections for epidemiology, 5 sections for Darwinian snails, and then also they all have a last section that has to do with the graded questions. Okay. You do not have to do all the sections of the assignment at once. Okay? But you can do sections of parts of sections whenever you want. The Simutext program will record your answers, and then you can pick up where you left off. In other words, you don't have to do the whole thing at once. Usually they take a couple of hours. And so most of the time people do a section, they take some time off, they do another section the following day, or a couple of sections in one day, whatever. And you can also go back and change your answers until the final submission. Now this is very important. Most of the assignment sections and questions are called ungraded feedback questions. Okay? That means they're not graded in terms of whether they're right or wrong. But that doesn't mean you can skip them. In fact, you have to answer every question every feedback ungraded question to get full credit. You have to answer every one, but it does not have to be right or wrong, but it has to be answered. If you answer all the ungraded feedback questions, all of them, no matter whether they're correct or not, but you answer every one, you will get credit for every one, and you cannot get worse than a B for this assignment. Okay? You'll automatically, I think the assignments are worth 40 points. You will get, let's see, what is it? I think it's 32 points or 36 points, something like that. You will get like 36 out of 40, I think is what it is. Okay? No, 32 out of 40. As long as you answer the questions, you will get credit for the ungraded questions. The feedback ungraded questions account for 80% of your grade, as I just mentioned. Therefore, if you answer all the ungraded questions right or wrong, you will get complete credit, and you can't get worse than a B for the assignment. The last section are for SymBio extra credit, it's 8 graded questions, and for I think it's for Darwinian snails, it's 10 graded questions. Those have to be answered correctly to get credit. So if you get all of them credit, then you get 100% for the assignment, right? Because you've done all the ungraded and that one. And then if you only get 8, let's say, then you get, let's see, I think it's 8 to 6, something like that. Okay? So, if you have any questions, you can contact here, or, for example, epidemiology is the first, 21st. And this is, again, is everything that I just went through. Okay, categories. So what we have here is we have 3 midterms and a final. And that comes out to, in terms of points, 200 points, or 50% of the grade is all from exams. The inquisitive assignments, 1 for each chapter, 1, 2, 4 through 7, 9 through 14, 17 through 21. You get 60 points or 15%. So there's all those different chapters. Reading quiz, the same thing. Infographics quiz, there's not as much, so it's only worth 30 points and 7.5% total. And then SymBio exercises are worth 40 points or 10% of your grade. 20 points or 5% is extra credit. And then there's these chapter quizzes that I mentioned. One chapter, one quiz question for each lecture. It was usually when we were doing classes, but you're still there, and so it's fairly. You'll see when it'll ask you to answer it, and you'll do it. Okay. In terms of points, below 55 is an F. 55 to 60 is a D minus, 60 to 65 is a D, and so on. 90 and above is an A. Please consult the following website for a relevant date for all types of withdrawals. I think you're actually allowed an extra week here. I can withdraw in the 4th week. Okay. No, actually, it looks like, that's wrong. Now, grade book. When you look at the grade book on Canvas for the whole class, on the right-hand side it will show the percent for each category of assignment. At the bottom of that, there is a checkbox that says calculate based only on graded assignments. Okay. Here. Oh, also, the SYLLABUS extra credit. So this is what it looks like. There's a list of all the different kinds of assignments. Infographics quiz, reading quiz, chapter 1, chapter 2, so on, inquisitive assignments, right? It'll show whether you did it or not. In this case, you did it. The person looks like they did it. These, they didn't. They're missing. Okay, that's important. And they did these assignments, okay? And then, over on this side, this is on Canvas for you. It'll show you the different assignments. Imported, let's see, exams are worth 50%. SymBio is worth 24%. Inquisitive assignments are worth 10%, and 10% for the reading, 4%, I think, and then the classroom quiz is 2%. So let me see. Oh, this is from another class. Okay. I think it's 15%, anyway. Extra credit, total 100%. Now, this is what shows for all the assignments that you actually completed. So if you, this is the grade that you, in terms of total points, let's say, that you get, if you, on the stuff that you actually completed. The thing is, Canvas kind of screws up, because if you're missing assignment, you didn't complete it, it still shows like this is what your score is. So let's say the assignments you completed, you've gotten, let's say out of the exam, you've averaged a 77%. Okay, 77% on the exams, right? And you did 3 exams, and that's, it shows for 77%. But let's say you missed the final. Obviously, if you missed the final, that's worth 0. And if you were to then figure in what the actually average score was for all the exams, it would be less than 77%. So to calculate that, you have to go down here. It says calculate based only on graded assignments. In other words, that's what this shows. The assignments that were graded, the ones that you completed. If you didn't complete an assignment, it should substitute a 0, but it doesn't. It only does that if you actually uncheck this box, and then you can actually see what your real grade is. Then it'll actually show, oh, let's say you're missing this assignment, you get a 0 instead of the points that you would get, and it'll include that 0 along with the other scores. Okay? It's confusing, I know that. And if you have any questions, we can go over that. Let's see here. Okay, it doesn't show here, but it will show on your on the grade book though. It'll show up here, I think, something like that. It'll show if you do the extra credit. It'll show a score. It'll be worth 20 points, something like that. You'll get a percentage out of it, and that'll go into Canvas. You'll take the score. No, all you'll do it on SymBio, and then I'll put that into Canvas. You'll see what that score is. It'll be some percentage of between 0 and 5%. So let's say you did that extra credit SymBio and you get 5%. Let's say at the end of the class you're at an 82%. That means you have a B. If you did the SymBio and you got all 5%, you'll now have 87%, which is a B plus. Okay? So the score on Canvas, your point score, will not include the extra credit, but I will be adding that in. And you'll know that you'll get those extra points in terms of the final score. Okay? Students with disabilities or require special tests, taking accommodations, like I mentioned, or any, not just tests, but anything. If you need extra time, let me know. Okay, in terms of the test, let me know beforehand. Okay, so I can actually program it in to give you extra time. If you need, let's say you miss an assignment or something like that, let me know, and I'll give you credit for it without losing any points. Okay? Don't wait until the last end of the semester to say, oh, I missed this and this and this. Can I make them up? No. If you have any problems whatsoever, I'm here to actually help you. If you can't, let's say you're getting buried by something, or something comes up, or you have to go to Las Vegas, or whatever it is, right? Let me know beforehand, okay? So at least you don't get dinged, and you'll have time to catch up. Don't put things off. If things are falling apart in your life, let me know, and we'll work something out, okay? Okay, academic dishonesty. Now, it turns out you can work with other students on your assignment. For the inquisitive, the reading quiz, the infographics quiz, the SymBio, let's say you get together and do it on Zoom or something. I don't care. That's for you to do. It's there to help you, okay? If you do it with other people, make sure you're getting stuff out of it instead of just writing down the answers and not knowing what you're doing, okay? Now, the exams, though, are going to be based on one thing, and that's honesty on your part. You will have, let's say, a certain day when you can take the exam. From the start of the exam until the end, you'll have 90 minutes, okay? You're not supposed to look up things, but if you do, go ahead. The thing is, after 90 minutes, if you're not done, you're not done, okay? That means anything that's not done, you will not get credit for, and it'll lower your score. So when you're doing the exam, you have to do it alone, and you can't do it without, you don't go into Inquisitive or the ebook and start looking up for answers, okay? You have to do it based on what was actually on the study guide for that exam. You can read this for study tips. Don't worry about the academic community. Equity and diversity, you can read about that. Freedom of speech and trigger warnings, just so you know, we're going to be talking about sex in this class. So if you are uncomfortable about sex, well, this is biology, so too bad. Gender discrimination and sexual violence. Obviously, I don't discriminate based on gender. And it'll obviously no sexual violence. First of all, you can't even come to my office, so you're safe. Or do. Okay, here's the schedule. First week, second week, third week. It shows what chapters we're doing, right? Right? And then it'll show, let's say February 19th is the first exam. Okay. Then we go through and and then the second exam is March 28th. So this is on the syllabus. Okay. Also, oh, by the way, all this is on Canvas right now. So this is something that says syllabus lecture handouts where you can take notes, right? So, and this is also on the syllabus itself. Actually, no. Oh yeah, that's right, 6 through 10. No, actually 6 through 7. And then, no, it's actually 6 through 10. Okay. And then, of course, the next one, and so on. Okay? And then we haven't decided yet when we're going to have the final exam. And then it also shows, of course, epidemiology explored. That's the first SymBio is due March 21st. As far as the inquisitive assignments and all this stuff with ebook, you'll see when that's due on Canvas. Okay, and that's it.